Good morning, everyone. We are Nadlan, broadcasting from the East Coast of New York, giving you daily updates from the real estate entrepreneurs so you can become one yourself. And today we have the first post from our entrepreneur of the week, Natalie Alter. So, who are we? Nadlan is providing real estate courses, mentoring, financing, deal analysis, and great deal offerings. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up, register to our channel, and hit this notification button. It will make sure you get notified about every new video we post and will also help others find our content. And you are also welcome to find us on Facebook, social networks, and of course on our website, forumrealestateusa.com. So let's get to it. All right. So good morning, everyone. And let's see some updates from our website, forumrealestateusa.com. So before we get into the post from Natalie Alter, let's see some updates. So first of all, we have the winter was decisive. Sales of second-hand homes in the U.S. were cut in February, a large drop from expectations. So spread the love. Okay. All right. So another tip for the younger generation. Come on, friends, we must act. Tip for the younger generation: theory and practice. Before I started delving really deep into the real estate world, I did almost all of the courses in the field in the state of Israel. There were even some abroad. What I understood is one thing, and that is no matter how many courses we take, good or bad, as long as we do not work and do not consistently do that, the whole theory can go to waste. A lot of times I meet young people who have seen, heard, known the winning pictures of people doing real estate. Then what comes next? They say, I want to do it also. Beautiful. It's beautiful that you want to do it as well. Now comes the question: do you also want to invest one day and get a result of a few years, or see a few courses and then spend a few weeks and expect results? No and no. If you have expectation, unfortunately, the matter will not work out, because it all starts from practice, from the field, from the daily perseverance that lasts for months and years, and only then the results will come. All right, so we need to do and act. Another question about management companies and the date of transfer of monthly income to you. All right, so this is another question about management companies. You can find it on our website. Hello, friends, looking for a reliable site to check out assets. So let's look into that. Looking for a reliable site to check out properties. Also, I would love to know how to know if properties that have already been sold, what is the contents of the home that have been improved. All right, guys, so let's see some of the answer. Take a look at Zillow. There's no such site. It is best to take a real estate agent who is well acquainted with the area. Yossi, in my opinion, there's no website that can do this. There's nothing to do, and with how smart and sophisticated the sites are today, there are things that only a human being can analyze. For example, is the design up to date and innovative or outdated? Is the color of the kitchen cabinets beautiful or shocking? And how is the level of the finish? The backyard is straight or with a large slope? Therefore, I refer to the compass from the sites as raw material, which I filter based on all sorts of parameters beyond basic filters such as number of rooms and square footage, filters such as central sewer or a septic tank, central air conditioner, a window air conditioner, and then looking for images on sites. If there are no pictures, then prefer not to put in the calculation. All this in order to get as high quality an image of the property as possible. In my opinion, the sites do not have the ability to provide such a closer answer. Okay, guys. All right, we have another video here. If you want to be a passive investor, then yes, you need money. On the other hand, if you are willing to do what it takes to be an active investor, a lack of money does not mean that you have no way of making trades. So this is a video about how to start investing without initial money. Interesting. So let's get to it. We're going to have the first two posts from Natalie Alter. The first one is an introduction, is a bit short, so we're going to do 1 and 2 together today. All right, so the first one is keep your money with you. During the week, I will try to explain in a simple way how it can be done. Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie, an accountant for 10 years. I live in Ra'anana, Israel, happily married, and the mother of 2 amazing children. From a young age, I started working in the field. My grandfather was a successful contractor, and I used to help him prepare tax returns. Slowly, I entered this world and realized I was in the right place. I've always had a desire to solve problems, get into the small details, and get the best results. I started my career in the field of a tax law firm, a bachelor degree in law. The years I worked in a law firm gave me tools that helped me to do it till this day, getting to know the relevant legal issues, creativity, knowing the law, and emphasizing the fine print. At the same time, I studied accounting, and since then, I have accompanied U.S. real estate developers in the proper financial management of the property in all its aspects. Full support from the purchase of the property, examination of investment viability, property maintenance, and relationship management with Israeli tax authorities. I know these processes can seem exhausting from the side, but when done in an ordinary manner, and especially with the guidance of the appropriate professionals, great results can be achieved and, most importantly, make money. Looking forward to sharing with you my knowledge during the week and always available for questions. All right, so this is Natalie. So let's jump into post number 2. All right. So you can see the diagram for investors in Israel. And basically, this post is about LLCs. Possession of property in the United States under private registration or under LLC. Okay, so basically, what should you do? Should you purchase the property in the US under your own name or under an LLC? One of the most common questions asked by US real estate developers is whether to hold the property in a private registry or under an LLC. I will try to explain in a simple way the concepts that are worth knowing about the subject, and especially the advantages and disadvantages of each choice. So what is an LLC anyway? Similar to company, an LLC is considered a separate legal entity from the holders of its rights. Those who hold the LLC rights are called members of the LLC. The LLC is registered with the registrar of the LLC in the specific country, state in which it is incorporated in the United States. What is important to know? The obligations of the right holders in this form of holding are under limited warranty or liability. That is to say, the debt is limited. Okay, so basically, there is a limited liability for the members. The debt is limited to the amount that the rights holder undertook to invest in the establishment documents of the LLC. The liability of the shareholders of the company is limited to the amount of their investment in the company, the so-called limitation of liability. That's why it's called LLC. This is the main reason that motivates investors to hold the property under LLC, limited liability company, and not in a private listing. Okay, so basically your responsibility is limited to the amount invested. Why is incorporation within an LLC considered flexible and easier to operate? This form of incorporation is considered more flexible and easier for both the LLC manager and the investors for the following reasons. Number one, incorporation within the LLC is not subject to company laws and does not require institutions such as board directors and shareholders meeting at all. It can be determined that a dividend will not be distributed proportionally among the rights holders. The establishment of the LLC and its activities are based on an establishment agreement similar to the establishment of a partnership and not on an official document as the company's articles of association. Number four, limitation of liability. How is LLC registered in the United States? A distinction must be made between an LLC with a single member and one with two or more members. Single member LLC, held by a single rights holder, is considered a completely transparent body for tax purposes in the United States, and all of its income and losses are directly attributable to its sole rights holder. So basically, when you file your taxes with an LLC, it's basically the same as the taxes that you file for yourself if it's a single member LLC. In addition, it does not file reports in the United States. All right, so what happens when you have more members in the LLC? With two or more members, the holding of the company is conducted in a similar way to a partnership. So what is a partnership? A partnership, a form of association designed to enable a person to work with others to generate income together, regardless of whether the parties of the partnership are individuals or companies, and whether a partnership is registered in the partnership registry or not. So the LLC, in this case, files report number 1065 and gives each member their share of the partnership capital. Under US tax law, as long as the LLC's account in the LLC is higher than zero, the distribution of funds will not be considered income, as it is distribution at the expense of funds that the member has transferred to the LLC. Finally, we need to fill out two reports, Report 1040, which is a federal report to the US, plus the state level report. How is all this reflected in the state of Israel? According to Income Tax Circulators 3-2002 and 5-2004, LLC is a company for all intents and purposes. This even receives support in the ruling. The mismatch problem. In Israel, tax law treats LLC as a company. That is, profits that are distributed will be considered as a dividend, while in the US, the reference is as a transparent partnership. So what is transparent partnership? An arrangement according to which the company's income and expenses are attributed to the shareholders in accordance with their shares in the right to profits in the company. Dividend tax. A tax imposed on a dividend distributed by a company to its shareholders. In Israel, receiving a dividend is taxable income like any other income. The result, an Israeli resident will pay taxes without having any income under Israeli law. In the future, when the profits continue, we will see them as a dividend without the ability to offset the foreign tax. So what is the solution? Solution proposed by the tax authority under Circular 5-2004, as long as the LLC is transparent in the United States, its rights holder may report its income in Israel on an ongoing basis and use it as a credit for foreign taxes paid in the United States. After that, the distribution of its profit is not dissolved. Must be consistent and take the same approach every year, starting with the first year. Income tax reserves the right to claim that the LLC is managed and controlled from Israel and is therefore considered a resident of Israel for tax purposes. In this case, its income will be taxed on corporation tax in Israel after generating a foreign tax credit. Obligatory position in report number 16-2016, a resident of Israel who owns a non-Israeli entity which is considered in Israel as an entity that is not transparent for tax purposes in Israel, and on the other end is considered a transparent entity abroad, such as LLCs or LLCs in the US, may not offset losses incurred in the activity of the foreign entity from its taxable income, or from the income of another corporation in its possession, even if it's considered transparent abroad. Obligatory position in report number 50-2017, implementation of the arrangement set forth in Income Tax Circulator 2004-5 for the purpose of crediting foreign tax only, attribution of income of LLC corporation to a resident of Israel who owns this corporation and who chose to implement the arrangement set forth in Income Tax Circular 5-2004 in a way that allows him to report the corporation's personal income will be for the purpose of crediting foreign tax only and not for any other matter, including exemptions attributed to the individual and special tax rates given to the individual. The IRS published and strengthened its position that the view is for the purposes of offsetting foreign taxes only, and his opinion was heard in the above positions. Bottom line, you can view the LLC in Israel only for the purpose of tax credit. In summary, these are the pros and cons of holding the property under LLC. What are the advantages? Align with US taxation in case of profits. Exploitation of foreign taxes. Number 3, national insurance as determined in 2017 that where an examination shows that this is income that as insured person has from an LLC type, this income will be tax exempt income. All right, so what are the cons? Number 1, no authorization to transfer losses to the personal report in Israel. Number 2, inability to offset losses between one LLC and another LLC. Activation of Circular 3-5, credit of foreign taxes paid in the United States as condition of current reporting on the day of entry into the investment and inability to withdraw from this decision. Number 4, for the income tax position, it is not possible to choose the 15% route on rental income. There are no individual benefits. Hope you stayed with me until the end. Yeah, it's not that easy to understand. If you have any question, you can write comments below, ask Natalie any question that you like, and discuss it over here in both on Facebook and on the website. So final words are, it is important to remember that all the processes listed here are managed by the accountant. One has to choose the right person for the task, and yet one should know the concepts and understand the meanings. If you got lost in the middle and the summary did not put in this order, you can always ask question. Natalie. All right, so Thank you very much, Natalie, for this post today, and we're going to see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.